All right, hello. Let's talk about how my client went from breaking out every day for a little over 10 years to then having clear skin in about 4 months or so without having to give up dairy or without having to be on any other medication like birth control or antibiotics ever again in order to do so. So, I mean this with love when I say this because I know you're thinking your acne is just hormonal, is just a hormone problem, but I am here to tell you that everything you probably think about hormonal acne is probably wrong. Because guess what? You already know your hormones are messed up. You do not need anyone to tell you that. You see that every time you look in the mirror. The real question is, why are your hormones messed up? And less about, let's just look to see if they are. Because if you want that real answer to that question, you have to get out of the mentality of saying, but I'm drinking more water, but I'm drinking spearmint tea to balance my hormones, but the estheticians are telling me to change my pillowcases and I'm doing that. But I use non toxic skincare and I have pore clogging ingredient checkers to make sure all my stuff is good. I cook and eat more vegetables at home than probably most people do. They told me to stop eating dairy or eggs, and I did like they told me to. But I'm here to tell you this is not a strategy. This is not a step by step plan for clearing your acne that you have had for years or since you were a teen or after being on years of birth control and antibiotics. We need a little bit of a different approach. These things may work for some people, but for you, you've tried all these things. So let's do something different this time. And that's what Jade decided when she came to me because at this point she had acne since her hormones started changing in high school and went on birth control to clear it. And when she got off that, it was back and forth trips to the dermatologist to try and get a different answer and a different approach. But she was only ever given recommendations for birth control or one round of clindamycin to another. So she decided to be like, okay, I'm going to change my lifestyle and become a healthier lifestyle. So she went on a weight loss journey. She was working out 7 days a week. She was really trying to hit her protein goal as much as possible and was eating a lot of protein bars. But you would think at this point of trying to get healthy, your skin would start to get better, but hers was starting to get worse. And so she saw an ad on Instagram of these acne supplements. And so she started taking those. And when she would break out, she would get those deep cystic red pimples that you probably saw on her face before that were so painful that she couldn't even put makeup on top of it because it just made her skin worse. And when she would go to bed at a decent time, she would still wake up and feel exhausted as if she didn't sleep the full night. And it was just like, what's happening? And she was at the point where she was only going to the bathroom maybe 2 times a week. And when she would go, it would be super painful because it was so backed up. So she decided to take magnesium, but even that wasn't helping. And I think the most of all, the thing that really got her was that she really hated how her skin looked. Every time she looked in the mirror, every time she went into the bathroom, and she just wasn't feeling confident. She wasn't feeling beautiful. And her partner would tell her, and she would be like, I just didn't believe him. Like he would tell me all the time, and I just couldn't see what he saw because all she saw was how displeased she was with her skin. And then she met me. So, hi, I am Ashley. I went from having clear skin to never having a breakout in my life to breaking out all the time and eventually landing with a diagnosis for PCOS. And so I started off as an acne esthetician because I wanted to know everything about skin and skincare products. And then I went to school to become a nutritionist because I wanted to know everything about food. Do I really need to cut out these certain foods? Are there foods I should be eating? And then I went to school finally and got my acne functional practitioner certification so that I can run labs, see what supplements and all the other good stuff so that I was able to help clear my skin and help other women of color clear their skin without needing to be on prescriptions, without needing to have a ton of restrictions. And just like I explained to Jay, I want you to know that the hormones that are now in balance and giving you that chin, cheek, jawline acne is a result of years of gut damage, of gut infections, and poor digestion. That's the answer to why your hormones are imbalanced. And it starts to create this thing called leaky gut. So here's some symptom checklists. One, you are so bloated all of the time and you love to eat, but it can be you eating vegetables and you feel bloated. Wake up in the morning, you feel bloated. By the end of the day, you think you look 4 months pregnant and you need to unbutton your jeans by the end of the day. You need more stretchy pants in order to feel comfortable. You get stomach aches every time you eat. Like it can really mess up your day if you eat the wrong thing and have you feeling terrible for the rest of the day. You get acid reflux. So it's that where it's like it comes up like if you have acid reflux, you probably know. And it usually comes with like if you eat sauces or pizzas and things like that. If you have a hard time going to the bathroom every single day, the recommendation is actually 2 to 3 times a day. So if you are not going just once every day, or if you can go every other day, it's constipation. You have this moodiness you can't control, that it sort of is like that deep anxiety and it just makes you feel like you're an anxious person, or sometimes you are labeled as like sensitive and like things that shouldn't bother you they do. If you have food sensitivities where you're like, if I eat sugar I break out, if I have eggs I break out, if I have some dairy I break out the next day, that is actually leaky gut going on. If you've taken birth control or antibiotics, you automatically have leaky gut just by the nature of the damage that it does. And so, what does leaky gut do to the skin? So, you break out after eating certain foods, and your acne really is present all month long, no matter what it is. So, it doesn't have to just be before your period. It's just like, I'm breaking out every day. Yep, you're in this um, bucket too. And so I want to walk you through the same process that Jay went through when she was like, okay, Ashley, I'm ready for some answers. Tell me exactly what we need to do to clear my skin. Here comes the hormonal acne reset method. So, step number one is all about finding your root causes. And so, I think at this point, you've never had someone sit you down, have you list out all the symptoms that you're dealing with, take a deep look at your health and medical records to see not just what your blood work is doing, but what does your sleep look like? What does your diet look like? What does your stress look like? What does your movement look like? What supplements are you taking? What medications are you taking? What skincare are you taking? All in one with the simple goal of finding out what the root causes of your acne are. And that's what I do. And I look at different systems of the body for it to tell me and give me a clear picture of what is actually causing your acne. Then we run the proper testing to get exact answers to why and what's going on so that you can see on paper what's going on in your body. And so here's some things I noticed with Jay. She was getting good quality sleep with the 7, 8 hours of sleep. She was on a face reality skincare routine. She was eating breakfast before drinking coffee. She was working out with the goal to build muscle. So she was lifting weights, which is great, but she was having inconsistent periods since being on birth control. She was taking 4 different and totally unnecessary supplements when I took a look at it. She was not having that bowel movement every day. Eating a salad would make her feel so insanely bloated, and she was under a lot of pressure at work. And so let's take a look at some test results. One big thing is this infection called H. pylori. And so this is a gut infection that is very common with 9 out of 10 clients that come to me when we are trying to clear their acne. We have to get rid of this infection that is causing acne. And it can also be known to cause bloating, cramping, gas, acid reflux, belching, nausea. This is responsible because of how much damage it does in your gut and lowering your stomach acid, which is so important for clear skin. And then we take a look at your good bacteria, because people will just throw probiotics at you, but this test will show you at the end of the day a probiotic is not the end all be all for gut issues if you are not absorbing the good and healthy foods that you were already eating. We have to look at that first. So we take a look at what your good bacteria is actually telling you. Then we take a look at the bad bacteria, because these bad bacteria are known for causing things like SIBO, for things like IBS, and where the bloating, the constipation comes from this overgrowth in bad bacteria. So we want to look at how much you have and what you have so that we know what to fix. And then here's some digestion markers, because if you are not breaking down all the protein, especially all the protein she was eating, it can cause a lot of problems. It can be that you are not, why you're not having bowel movements, because you're not breaking it down and it's not coming out of the body. And then we want to look at your immune markers, because I want to tell you that like eating clean, giving up dairy, gluten, coffee, eggs is not enough to wake up your immune system if you don't understand why your body is at the state that it's in right now. We have to go in order to make sure that we're getting out the bad guys, restoring the good guys. And sometimes our body just isn't responsive to these healthy foods if we're not absorbing it. And sometimes infections need proper supplements or need proper medications in order to get rid of it so that your skin can clear for good. And so the next thing that we need to do, step two, is I take a look at your food journal for me and for you because you can't change what you don't know. And so when I looked at hers, she was severely under eating, one for her hormones, because the less you eat, the more stress you put on your body. The more stress with your body, the more it affects the estrogen, the progesterone, the actual hormones that are giving you acne. So she wasn't eating enough to fuel her hormones, and she wasn't eating uh enough for how much she was working out in the name of just having protein. Like that's just not enough sometimes. And there was little to no diversity in her diet. She was not eating enough fiber because she was a creature of habit. She found food she liked, foods that didn't mess her stomach up too much, and so she just kept eating those. And so here's my philosophy that I recommend calculating your maintenance calories and macros and tracking your food initially with the intentions of getting within 100 calories of your maintenance. That's how you know how much your body should be eating so that you are nourishing your hormones, but you're not eating too much where you're just like, oh my God, I don't want to gain weight. It's this healthy medium that I help my clients get, and they are always, always so surprised. They're like, I'm eating more and I'm losing weight. And it's such a crazy um statement, especially with diet culture and all this other stuff. But when you focus on mineral rich, gut healing, whole foods way of eating, not only will you clear your skin, but you'll able to hit your body goals. You'll get your energy back. You can build muscle faster, and get your dream body faster than starving yourself will. Step three is supporting your nervous system because let me tell you something, your skin will not heal in a stressed out fight or flight mode. And stress is the number one reason why your skin won't clear. I have people coming to me doing everything that they're supposed to be, but until we do some stress related activities and work on their nervous system, then they're like, oh, my skin is getting better. Yes, because you're taking yourself out of fight or flight. And her stress was centered around work. So what we did was nailed her morning routine, giving her rest days from working out 7 days a week, and hacks for handling stress during work because giving up her job wasn't something that was on the table, not something she wanted to do. So we supported her body to become more resilient to stress. And then step four is you need to work on then healing your imbalances. So you will get a clear skin protocol from me once we get your test results back that will have you give with specific nutrition advice, specific supplement advice, and specific lifestyle recommendations based on your test results. So we focus on opening her liver detox pathways, healing her gut pathogens, putting her on the right supplements, and really balancing her blood sugar. So those were her main focuses. And so when you heal your gut, your skin actually clears, and not just that, it stays clear. That's the big difference. And so I'm here to tell you that you do not have a skincare or a dairy problem. It's the way you clear your skin for good has everything to do with healing the gut symptoms that you're dealing with, getting your blood sugar from being all over the place, and the fact that your body isn't resilient to stress yet until we teach it how to be. And so, if you are ready to take back control of your skin and get you some real answers, let's work together to stop guessing, run the right functional testing, and get you on the right diet, supplement, and skincare routine so that you actually have a step by step plan that takes the guesswork out of everything, especially if you relate it to Jay on some level. And so the hormonal acne reset is built around education, testing, and support. And that's how you will get clear skin because you're getting to the root cause of why you're breaking out in the first place, so you have all the tools in place to clear your skin for the very last time. And so, how is this process different? One, we're working on the four main root causes of acne. Two, we do functional testing for you to see on paper exactly what's going on, and so that you have a step by step order in which to heal everything. I give you a personalized plan based off what I know about you and your symptom testing scorecard that we talked about and your food journal that we talked about, so that I can give you specific answers. And then live coaching. You need that coaching, you need that support, you need that accountability from someone who knows what it takes to clear your skin. And so this is not a program where we're only doing hormone testing because you already know they're out of whack. We're not doing food sensitivity testing because we're actually getting to the real root cause of why you have food sensitivities. And it's the environment in which the food goes into. So that's what we're going to heal to get rid of food sensitivities. This is not for you if you're just like, I'm okay with cutting out food and it doesn't bother me. I want the people who want to, like, no, I don't want to live a life where food bothers me. I don't want to live a life where I have a long list of foods that I just can't eat and that just keeps piling on, piling on. This is the people who are like, give me answers so that I can have a cup of ice cream with my friends or with my kids and I can move on with my life and not break out. This is no generic, no dairy, no sugar, no eggs, no coffee protocol. That's a bunch of BS. This is also not a just eat more veggies, take a probiotic, and eat some garlic cloves in the morning when you first wake up. No, this is not an overnight quick result. Let me Amazon Prime my skin, magic take one supplement that's going to fix everything, or for people who don't want to take complete ownership of their health. This is for people who want actual answers to what's going on in their body. And so, how will I support you through these next 4 or so months? So, we get you the proper testing to assess your acne triggers. You will go through the Clear Skin Foundations course. So, like week after week, you get actual assignments and things to do to actually take action and really change and support your lifestyle. Then there's weekly office hours to get your questions answered by me because I create your protocols for you. Once you actually start to implement them and say, like, you have a question about something or you need help figuring out something, I will give you that support because I understand what's going on with your skin. You get fully customized skincare and supplement routines. I will take a look at what you're using. We can figure out what's working, what's not, and get you on the right products. Then we have high protein, acne safe recipes and grocery lists so you don't have to figure out, oh, what should I eat? And then we have unlimited one on one chat access through the Practice Better app. That's where the course is housed and where this whole program is done in, so that you can message me anytime you need to. And so instead of relying on random strangers on the internet to like give you advice and they don't know you, you can then turn your questions to me because when I understand acne, I understand your acne and I understand the plan that you're on to get you exact answers that you need so that you can feel confident leaving the house without makeup on because you don't need to hide your skin anymore. And you can leave the house and only have some mascara and some lip gloss on. Isn't that the goal? And you have skin that's so clear that you don't need a 10-step skincare routine anymore. And you can spend less money on skincare products because you've actually cleared your body from the inside out. And you know that it's deeper, it's internal. And so you have fixed those internal issues. And now you get to look the way you've always wanted to. You get to go to a restaurant and order the food you love, from the dairy to the gluten to the carbs, without waking up to painful breakouts the next day. That is true food freedom. And so you can stop spending so much time thinking about your skin, looking at your skin, picking at your skin, and wondering if you're going to break out tomorrow. And you also get to have periods that are easy because the PMS and the pimples are gone. You don't need to lay in bed with the heating pads, with the Midol or Tylenol to get rid of the pain because guess what? Once you fix the real imbalances, your hormones also start to become more imbalanced, giving you those easier periods. You you stop missing out on core memories because you feel comfortable being in front of the camera again. I had clients that said, she went on a trip with her kids and was not in a single picture in any of them because she hated the way her skin looked and she regretted it. But now she's at the point where she can take pictures, do videos without needing a filter. That's a big difference. And ultimately, you can get your confidence back and truly feel like you look beautiful. To truly think that you look hot again because you can. To bring the spice back into dating, to bring the spice back into your relationships because you're no longer hiding behind your hair and long clothes and makeup, and you can really feel confident putting yourself out there again. And so you do not have to do this alone. We can get you actual answers, which is some great news. And so I want to invite you to take the next step and book a clear skin enrollment call. And so you'll be able to do that clicking the button down below. But here's what we're going to do on said call. One, you get to meet me and have an actual conversation with an actual human who can answer your questions. But we're going to do a deep dive into your acne story. I want to know everything that you tried, that you haven't tried, what's worked, what hasn't worked, so that I can get a deeper understanding of what I think is going on with your skin. And because I've talked to so many women, I can just by you telling me what symptoms you're dealing with, I can then tell you, okay, this is what I think is going on. This is what I think is causing your acne. And if you were to work with me, this is what we would do step by step by step. And then I'll outline that plan for you of how you can clear your skin for the very last time. And if I think we're a good fit for each other, then I will invite you to join me in the hormonal acne reset method, where then I can help you clear your skin. So all the information that you need is in the application below. So all you have to do is click the button and yes, click the button, fill out the application, look at the pricing, determine if this is a good fit for you. And if you have any questions, concerns, hesitation, book the call and I will be able to go over that with you. But just know that this is a decision making call. So this is about deciding if you want to move forward or not a coaching call. I do like to make that distinguish because I want to get you answers. I want to get you out of limbo and have you start to change your lifestyle and eat the way you need to without having to live with these ridiculous diet rules. Ever get you to a place where you never feel like you have or forced to be back on birth control or antibiotics when you do not want to be. This is for the person who is ready. I'm like, I can invest 4 to 6 months into my health, knowing that at the end I'll get the result that I really want to. So let's have a conversation. I promise I'm super friendly and I cannot wait to talk to you and to meet you. So I will talk to you later.